welcome back. Switched over to my SNES, running through Super Game Boy 2. Never do know what color scheme I want to go with here, so I tend to keep it simple. Make sure my controls are good one more time. Okay, going right into it. Alright, so, a lot of people aren't familiar with this game. This is the last TMNT game that was released for the Game Boy called Radical Rescue, and it's actually a really, really good game. The thing that tends to surprise people the most when they find out this game exists is that there actually is a TMNT Metroid title. Like, it actually plays like a Metroid-style game, but it features TMNT characters. Actually got some really good mechanics too. A lot of the people that went on to work on Castlevania Symphony of the Night actually did a lot of work on this game. So it's almost like a precursor for that. Thank you so much for the good luck, yo. Anyway, enough babbling about that. Let's go ahead and get started. So here's how the story works. Essentially, everybody in the Turtle clan, I guess we'll say, that being Turtles themselves, Splinter, April, have been kidnapped by Shredder and taken to this underground cave. The one exception is Michelangelo, who is who we start with and is also the most important character in the game. Every turtle in this game actually has a unique ability. Mike's is the ability to hover a la Dixie Kong. So that gives him some excellent use for platforming, and it gives him the best boss fights. You can employ a lot more safe strats and really, really good movement compared to the others. We are going to see a lot of enemies you don't normally see in a TMNT game, like, you know, bats. I don't think I've ever seen a TMNT game aside from this one that had bats. Didn't want to take that hit. One thing to note about this game, it is actually extremely difficult. Biggest reason, well, two reasons. One, enemies have really obnoxious hitboxes, and your attacks have primarily suggestive hitboxes. And by that I mean they're mostly going to be in the enemy's favor as opposed to yours. Jump kick is one of our primary offensive weapons, but even that requires like good placement to be able to utilize properly. Didn't want to take that hit. I'm going to let this move past. Coming up through here. Got some full health, and we're going to move on to our first boss. This is definitely a character that's never been in anything else TMNT related except I think it's an action figure. This is Scratch. It's a mutant cat wearing a prison uniform. He has a couple different patterns he can utilize. The one that I'm hoping he doesn't go for a lot is the claw. The claw is incredibly obnoxious. It has incredible range and a really strong hitbox. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, that's not good. Didn't want to die there. It also does a lot of damage. It does 2 damage, whereas I believe all of his other attacks do 2. I appreciate the update. Unfortunately, this game requires a lot of execution, so I don't think I'm going to be able to fix it, but I appreciate I appreciate you notifying it. Anyway, that'll finish off Scratch. Move a quick way through here. This is one of the few rooms in the game where we're actually going to experience lag. Oh, one other thing to notate, I don't know why a jump kick didn't come out there. Every 10 foot soldiers you kill results in a pizza. It's only a pizza that refills 3 health. I'm actually going to wait this out because I'm on low health. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work out either. It's going to kill everything. Oh, that didn't work out too well. Oh, okay. Appreciate the feedback. Okay, so here's how the rest of this is going to go. We're going to use this key to rescue Leo. He's going to be our first rescue here, and he's going to give us another ability. We'll get to here in just a moment. I'm going to safety this. Glide past this guy. So here's the reason why we have 100% in this game. With 100%, you unlock everything, which means you rescue every character, you get every health upgrade. And Leo's going to take us to our first health upgrade there. Leo's ability, as you saw there, is the ability to drill through floors that have designated boxes there. I'm at full health, I don't need that. Take this pizza. Didn't want to get hit there, but okay. Didn't want to get hit there either. Should be fine though. Okay, so work our way back through here. Another thing to note in this game, you actually have key cards that you have to use to open doors. I don't know why Shredder hasn't really done that elsewhere, but he decided to do it this time. Thing to note about pizza in this game, that's actually a perfect point that I can prove right there. If you don't have a pizza in your storage, I'm doing this just for safety because I took that hit that I didn't want to take. LRock617 walkers are tracking. So anyway, if you have a pizza in storage, the purpose of the pizza is to refill your health if you end up going to 0 hit points. Whereas if you already have one in storage, then getting a full pizza just restores you to full health. You can also, as I mentioned before, kill 10-foot soldiers to get a pizza that restores 3 HP. It's actually a pizza at the end of this room I'm going to snag. Oh, or I guess I don't need it because I can get this. If only I had remembered. Key card through this door. Able to progress through here. What's up, drum? Work our way down here. Taking a little bit of damage, but nothing too terrible. Lasers do 2, which isn't really all that great when you're at 8, but we're essentially at 16. Go way back through here. Now we're going to switch away from Leo, because as I mentioned, when you're actually just trying to play the game, Leo's not exceptionally good. He's great for his ability when he needs to be able to obtain you upgrades. But as far as like playing neutral through stages, he's pretty medium. I definitely pressed jump earlier there, trying to glide. Missed input, I suppose. Not bad. I just gotta snag another pizza up here just for safety because we're ready to go to our second boss. Not too bad. Those guys on the bottom are a real problem. They take 3 hits to kill, I believe, and they do 2 when they touch you. Our second boss here we have Dirtbag, who outside of the final boss is, I think, the only character that's appeared in another game. Dirtbag has a couple patterns. His RNG is the worst in terms of speed. By that I mean, if he decides to give you bad luck, it costs you more time than other bosses would, because he can just completely leave the screen like this. He can just completely time scam just because he wants to. Really not much you can do except try to anticipate where he's going to fall. For anything else, it's just avoiding the pickaxe, avoiding dash upper, knowing when he's going to jump. Okay, so 5 screen jumps is great. Appreciate that game. Snag that. Yeah, for sure. That gives us our key to move on and be able to rescue our next turtle. One other thing to note, the game I compared the most to this is the original TMNT for the NES. Because it has a lot of similar elements. Just gonna slip right down here. There is one crucial element that's different though. Every turtle in this game shares a health bar. So however much health you have, which in this case I have 6, that's the health for all my turtles. You can't switch characters to try to prevent yourself from taking damage. That was unfortunate. I didn't want to miss that. That jump's not too difficult, but I jumped a little too early. Moving our way up here with a new music track. Gross. Got the bombs perfectly, but I guess he's just on the edge there. So here we have Raph. Has an incredibly useful ability, and by useful I mean it's more necessary than good. Good health pick up there. Flame Jets I tend to want to wait out. I believe for the fastest possible you just damage boost through them. Here's our first use of Raph. He can go inside of his shell and tuck himself underneath small corridors. As I mentioned, isn't incredibly useful because you don't get to be invincible. It can prevent enemies from being able to detect you at times, but you can still get hit. Grab another key card. Definitely not a fan of the Hammer Brothers. They can be a real problem. Plus the bombs they throw do 2 damage, which is super gross. Work my way up. Here's some bats. Alright, one of my least favorite rooms in the game. Here we have Yoku blocks in a TMNT game. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but here we are. Move our way up. We're gonna have another health upgrade up here in a moment. Leo do his thing. Cool thing about the health upgrade, it upgrades our max health by 2. We started at 6 and we can push all the way up to 14. But when we snag one, it also refills our health, which is super useful. Raph slip back under here. As I mentioned before, the reason I bring up the whole, that was unusual, but okay. The reason I bring up the fact they all have the same health total is that you really don't treat the turtles like their own character in this game. You essentially treat each character like it's an upgrade to what you can already do. The one exception is that Donatello has slightly different melee than the other 3. Anyway, on to our third boss. Triceraton can be a real pain. This fight really comes down to how much he's willing to spam laser. The more laser you see, the worse fight you're going to have. Anything else is pretty easy to deal with, for the most part. If he wants to charge at you, that's fine. But the laser's really cheap. It does 3 damage to you, and it's guaranteed hit stun for another attack. As in, like, if he hits you with it, he's guaranteed to combo off of it. And for a move that already does 3 damage to be able to combo to something else, that's it's pretty overpowered, for sure. Right over this side. I wasn't sure if he was going to auto-correct or not there. Come on, you. On guard. Here we go. It's C-E-R-A-T-O-N, but close. Dodge the laser. It's weird, Leatherhead's an anti-hero in most incarnations. But most people know him as the Ragin' Cajun. Keycard our way through this door. We'll make our way down. Alright, so I'll just damage boost my way down here. I figured I was taking another hit, but that's okay. Sure when I get that. Okay. This is our first introduction to the jetpack ninjas in this game. They're pretty awful. Also, speaking of awful, I missed that jump. That's not good. Took a little bit more damage than I would have liked. Okay, back to Raph. En route to rescuing our last character here. That was terrible. Raph, please stop doing that. I actually didn't know that. You can press jump again while airborne to go into shell mode. Ordinarily, that just requires you pressing down an A while you're on the ground. But apparently you can jump cancel it by just pressing jump again. So now we have Don. Quick trivial fact, the any % run of this game actually doesn't rescue Donatello, so he's by default the most useless character in the game. Simply because you don't need him. He is, however, in terms of combat, the most unique character in the game. Show that why when I get to using him. Jetpack Ninja's going to try to bombard us. He succeeded. Good for him. Keycard our way through this door. And do this for safety health. So here we actually need Don. For those that have played Castlevania 3, Don's basically Grant. He can't cling to ceilings, but he can cling to walls. Allows us to climb to access areas we would normally not be able to get to. Gross. I feel like that shouldn't have happened, but oh well. This segment's gonna be kind of gross. I hate these mine carts that they use. They're very tricky to jump. I'm pretty sure there's visual cues for all of them, but I never quite learned them. So I just tanked them instead. That was unfortunate. Oh well. Take some damage through here. These damage boosts are intentional. As long as you hustle your way through this, you only need to take 2 damage to be able to make it through. I'm actually gonna go grab that pizza up there for some safety. Won't take too much time. Stop. Well, it sucks alright. Anyway, here's the room that allows us to skip using Donatello. I'm not going to show why just yet, though. So how the game intends it is that you're supposed to be able to use Don to make your way up there, which I did at this point just to make sure I can maintain speed. But there's a strat I'll try later that ensures that we don't actually have to use Don. Thought about trying it now, but better to wait until I have to try to use it rather than when I don't need to use it. Leo's gonna make our way through here, get the key card. That's my timing there. If you hold left there, you'll make it through without even having to stop. That hit. Back to this room with the pizza. I'm gonna go snag that one time. I took a lot of damage going through those rooms, so I'd rather just maintain. Okay. A lot of this segment's mostly just backtracking. Like, we actually had to just make a full loop just to ensure we had a key card. Alright, so now I'm going to go for what's called Dawn Skip. Sometimes I tend to go for Dawn Skip with Dawn just for the best irony. So there's a 2-pixel window right on this platform up here that we can use to skip past it, and we got it second try. Not bad. If you veer to the right side of the platform and wiggle right to left, in the given window, as mentioned, it's a very small window, only 2 pixels. You're actually able to just clip up to the platform, and you can just proceed from here, and you don't even need Donatello. Doing this real quick to get our next health upgrade, which will bring us up to 12. Gross. At least I can make it through here easily now. Taking a lot of damage through here, just because the game wants it that way, I guess. That guy out. Make our way back outside. Not for very long though. So now we're switching back to Raph. How much health do I have? 5 low. I'll spend a couple seconds to get that. Do not get hit by landmines. They do 4 damage. You have to get hit by anything. Do not get hit by a landmine. Always better to take the damage boost through something else if it's absolutely necessary. Back outside with a classic TMNT theme. I think this is the same one used on TMNT 2 for Game Boy as well. Leap that guy. Down the ladder. Just gonna take that hit. Because I can just walk past this guy. Oh, I didn't want to take that. And bombs do a pretty good amount of damage. Push to Leo. Okay. I guess I wasn't in proper placement. Doing the drill requires the jump button, so either I wasn't in place or I didn't press down in time. guys are pretty awful. Cool thing is here, we're going to work our way to our last health upgrade. We get all that back. So our health is maxed out now. We have 14 health. Can't go any higher than that. So pizzas are going to be a lot more valuable from here. Not a big fan of the bubbles rooms. I was trying to glide to cancel that. Actually got there. Rather take that damage than the spike damage. Alright, not too bad. Bubbles are obnoxious. They move really, really slow and they do 2 damage, and they can just be a real nuisance to have to deal with. I'm a fan of dealing with hippity hop there. Room here is just standard underground room, but we are going to be seeing it quite a bit. It's a hub for a lot of different areas of this game. Appreciate the good luck, Miz. Move our way up here. I don't actually think I need that pizza. It requires Dawn to be able to get it, and I think I'd rather just keep going. Move up. Onto our last boss before the gauntlet. So here we have Scaletail, who a lot of people refer to as Snick. Scaletail can be a real nuisance. He doesn't have an attack that does minimal damage. They all do absurd amounts of damage. The upside is he's very easy to manipulate and bait in certain situations. The tail, to me, is the biggest thing to avoid. It does 3 damage, and it has incredible range, as you can see. He wants to just stand there and take hits. I'm okay with that. The flame attack is the easiest to avoid, but it's the one that you basically have to avoid. It does 4 if you get touched. Okay. Hey, he didn't take a death. Not bad. The worst situation he can put you in is that one there, where he puts his back completely to the wall and just zones with a flame pillar. Pretty awful. Managed to make decent work of him, though, so at least that's over. Move our way back through here. Did that deathless, too, so I don't even need to get that pizza, so that's pretty rad. Move on down here. I was trying to get past that without getting hit. Those intervals are tough. I think as soon as I killed the second one, I would have had to start moving right away. Maybe even done a jump. This, to me, is kind of the lull of the game. We're basically just making our way completely underground without... Ooh, not get that jump. That's nice. That jump's kind of tough to nail the first time. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot going on here. It's not particularly interesting because all we're doing is going to rescue Splinter, who has no impact on gameplay. However, it does have the best quote in the game, so I'll go ahead and show off for you all. Because we have to focus our powers and prepare for Buttle. That's right, we're going to prepare for Buttle. Move up with Dawn. Yeah, Drum brings up a good point, and I forgot to mention that about boss fights in particular in this game. Whenever you hit an enemy, they have iframes galore. Like, almost, it's about like 3 full seconds of iframes. It's never in your favor. That was unfortunate. A jump first try, that's good. Work our way to this key card. That almost sucked. Interesting thing in this game, if I had just let that foot soldier jump and then never jumped, he would have never respawned. But it's because you have to jump that he's going to respawn. We're going to switch back to Dawn because we have to make our way out. Go into this room where there's nobody. It's silly to have this in the game, but it's a teleport chamber essentially, so we have to use it. Oh, the thing I didn't bring up earlier about Dawn in regards to his combat, his melee attack has a lower hitbox. He's the only turtle that can hit robot walkers while standing. The others all have to crouch. So that's kind of a cool thing to have. It certainly makes him feel like his own character rather than just like an upgrade. Ugh. Did not play that well. As far as I can tell, all the turtles have the same range. Don just has a lower center of gravitas. Gravity. Gravitas is more of a concept. My bad. Anyway, moving across here. Get out of this way. More bubbles. Because Contra, I guess. This room can be pretty tough. Oh, actually, sorry, wrong room. I thought it was a different room coming up. This room's just about making sure you can tank enemies properly. You could damage boost your way through all that. I'd just rather keep the health. Health is very precious in this game because you've seen before enemies can be a real pain when they want to be. Alright, this is the room I was thinking of. This room really benefits those who are trying to get through it quickly. Except for that one laser right there, I guess. Up we go. Didn't make that in time. Alright, not quite my best laser room there, but I'll still take that. Now we're back outside. At least for a small spell. Take that guy out. Probably should have tried to grab that pizza. I didn't think it would spawn there. Yo! It kept it on screen, but I didn't get it in time. That's unfortunate. So, the idea there was I wanted to hover, but I was trying to cancel it in time to be able to hit him. So this could be kind of tricky. I definitely don't want to take damage if I can help it. Of course, I say that and I immediately take damage. We are making our way to the end, though. This, in my opinion, is probably the hardest room in the game. This room is awful. Because you always have to deal with this. And of course I missed my jump. I actually didn't remember that was a Yoku block. So I'm going to have to make my way over here. Do it again. Not the worst thing ever, but it's not something I wanted to have happen. Okay. Okay. That last segment's a little tricky because you have to be able to make sure that you can land on the Yoku block and get past the flame pillar, because if you take any hits from that flame pillar, like, you just fall and then you get nothing. Cool thing is, now we're at the end of the game. I wouldn't say this is badly programmed at all. The iframes is a bit of a joke, but it's kind of just what it is. I think this game's very good, actually. So this is a boss rush. We're going to be fighting all 4 bosses that we fought again already. Change now is that they all have fully upgraded health, just like we do. So they have 14 just like us. Of course, they essentially have more health because our attacks only do 1 and theirs can do upwards of 4 depending on the boss. What's up, Ninja? How are you doing? Yo, good patterns here. Anytime he does the backstep pattern and does this, that's actually really, really good for us. Just leads to free hits. I'll take care of Scratch. See if Dirtbag is as mean to us this time as he was last time. Last time all he wanted to do was jump. Hoping for not that. Of course he jumps right away. Had to say something. Jerk. Same fight as before. His patterns are very, very easy to read. The only thing that's hard to read is when he despawns himself like that, where he falls from is up to him to determine, and you have to adapt to it. Ah, that was awful. Sometimes he lands right where you're walking, and there's really not much you can do there. Here's going to dash upper. Where are you going? Wasn't sure what he was going to do there. He was either going to do a single jump and leap, or double jump and dash upper, and he had his back against the wall. So, but yeah, you refill your health after every fight, so that's very useful. Okay, so for Triceratops, I'm actually going to remain quiet. This depending on the pattern she gives me, this may provide some pretty harsh adaptation. Want to be cornered? Yeah, that's the worst thing he can do. Pin you, lock you in with a laser, and then charge. So cheap. Especially because there's just so little you can do about it. Could have done with less lasers, but this fight's fine so far. And stop jumping. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to imagine how this would be if your health didn't refill. They're all just so ridiculously unfair. Remain quiet for Snake, too. Again, adaptation's key. Plus, his damage is just way too high. Pretty good there. Definitely take that hit. Him colliding with us does the least damage of anything he can do. Like, if we just touch his body, we only take 2. Tail does 3, Flame does 4. Tank most of the rest of these. I'm not going to get too greedy, but that's unfortunate. The back to the wall pattern's so bad. Okay. So on to our last boss. We have 2 full health bars, which is great. It'll be the first time we've seen Shredder, who in this game is known as Cyber Shredder. Because I guess that's the thing they were trying to get over. Shredder has a pretty good number of attacks, all of which are very beatable with, as I mentioned before, proper adaptation. Michelangelo is crucial use here because being able to glide over stuff like this is imperative. Like, you have to be able to do it. Huh, I've never seen him do a knee right after a flame like that. That was weird. When he crouches like that, it means he's going to do a lunging knee, and it's actually really easy to avoid because he takes forever to set it up. Step kick is the attack I'm worried about the most. It does, I think, 2 damage, and it just moves the whole screen. The teleport into dive kick isn't too bad because if you go to around the center of the screen, that's where he's always going to land. Big surprise is he has a second health bar. And he gains a couple of new attacks, including this big flame wave that does 4 damage. The other being this short hop he does into a dive kick. That's unfortunate. I didn't want to take that hit there. Alright, so last health bar here. That's not good. Gotta play some safety here. Gonna remain quiet for a little bit. Hop back, jump forward. Not good. Okay, teleports are good. I like teleports. That's fine. Try and tank him. Okay, cool. First part of that fight, not so great, but worked itself out by the end. Not quite the end just yet, though, because we have to go to this chamber, rescue April, and that's going to be time. 32:41. Before yesterday, my PB was a 32:14, so that's actually a pretty good time. I also went for a lot of safety strats, like obtaining extra pizzas, which cost me some time, but especially after Manhattan Project, I wanted the marathon safety. So yeah, pretty solid run overall. Also, do mind the fact that the capture does run at 30 frames a second with Retro Console, since I don't have it set up for RGB. So there's going to be a lot of like flashing between the portraits and then the scroll text. So it looks kind of goofy, but it's what it is. Anyway, much better run than my previous one. Really happy with that. And I love being able to show off this game. More people need to know about this game. It's really, really good. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that little exhibit. Getting ready to move on to our last game here in just a moment, so bear with me while I get that set up. And thank you so much all for the GGs. Alright, gonna switch over to some arcade, and I'll see you shortly.